Good morning. Welcome to our Soulful Sunday, our second day of the new year. This is also a new moon, so day to put our intentions into place. Of course, whatever intentions you put into place, they will manifest once we energize them. But every single morning, we are energizing in a Power of Dreams program. So let's start our morning and let's visualize and make the most of this beautiful morning. Welcome back to a beautiful morning. And let's learn about letting go and how letting go helps us solve problems, how it makes life so much more easier. So, Ruchi, why don't you read today? And I will keep explaining as and when it goes, right? Also, let's bring on the book. Page number 227, problem solving.
Good morning.
Yes, let's start. Good morning.
Problem solving. The effectiveness of the letting go mechanism in problem solving often is quite astonishing. Understanding the process involved here is very important because it is quite different than the world's usual methods. The approach that brings fast and easy results is the following: don't look for answers, instead, let go of the feelings behind the question. When we are surrendered on the feeling behind the question, we can let go of any other feelings that we might also have about what seems to be the problem. When we are finally and fully surrendered on all components, the answer will be there waiting for us. We won't have to look for it. Consider how simple and easy this is as compared to the mind's usual long, drawn out, inefficient attempts at problem solving. Usually, the mind hunts and pecks endlessly, fumbling around with first this possible answer and then that one. The reason the mind can't decide is because it is looking in the wrong place. Let's see how the system works with a common everyday example. Let's say that we disagree with our mate on which movie to see. We look to see what the feeling is behind the problem. In this case, let's say that we find the feeling of anger and resentment, specifically that we feel resentful about the lack of romantic time spent together. What we really want tonight is affectionate time spent together. As we let it be okay inside ourselves that what we really want is affectionate togetherness, it suddenly dawns on us that we don't want to go to a movie at all. We just want to be together. Or the opposite might happen. We might find that the feeling behind wanting to go to a movie is fear, because we want to avoid spending the evening talking to and being close to our mate. We see that the feelings we have built up are unpleasant. We have resentment, so we let go of wanting to modify that feeling and we just let it be there. It's okay to have that resentment. As we surrender our resistance to the resentful feeling, we feel less guilty. We admit to our mate that we have had a resentment. Dialogue starts going, and the other person's feelings are cleared up as well. We both feel relieved and closer, and we then say, to heck with the movies. Let's stay home, make love, and go for a walk in the moonlight.
Very important for all of us to understand 99% we are lookers for answers. We are looking for a solution. We are looking for an answer. Have we ever taken a pause whenever we need to have an answer to let go of the feeling behind the question? Now, why do I feel I need an answer? Why can't this be accepted the way it is right now and let the process unfold, and see what's going to come out of it? Why all the time a seeker for answers? Why all the time a seeker for help? Can we just let go of this feeling to question ourselves? It's Prashnev Bhav is great. It's good to be a seeker. But when you're feeling something which is anxiety, something which is guilt, something which is akin to resentment, you will know the feeling, right? You will know it's not a happy feeling. Now, when it's not a happy feeling, then we know there's a reason behind it. And rather than finding the reason, why can't we simply surrender it as is? So just read the page back to the one page before. So it's very, very important to understand that emotionally, we have to get stronger now. Once we get stronger, सर आप आगे चले गए, मैंने पीछे कहा था जी. अगर आप देखें इसमें आइटैलिक में किया हुआ है, don't look for answers, instead let go of the feeling behind the question. जब हम सरेंडर कर देते हैं उस फीलिंग को जो हमें प्रॉब्लम लग रही है, ऑल ऑफ अ सडन एक हल्का महसूस होता है. ऑल ऑफ अ सडन जो लॉन्ग ड्रॉन प्रॉब्लम्स हैं जो हम नहीं फेस कर पा रहे, जो हमने बहुत सारे अटेम्प्ट्स कर रहे हैं उसको सॉल्व करने में, वो सारी एनर्जी सेव करते हैं हम. ये जो हो रहा है, जो आप सॉल्व करना चाह रहे हो, अगर आप रियलाइज करो तो ये पैटर्न रिपीट हो रहा है. पहले भी ये आ चुका है लाइफ में और पहले भी इट डिडंट वर्क. सो नाउ व्हाट कैन वर्क फॉर अस इज लेटिंग गो ऑफ द फीलिंग टू आस्क कि ठीक है, हुआ है, दोबारा हुआ है, ओके लेट मी अग्री. And it's very important that time to let go and to take it and flow with it. Yes, sir. Now you can go back to the next page. Yes, please continue.
This approach is rewarding in all decision making. When we first clear out the underlying feelings, the decisions are more realistic and wise. Think of how often we have changed our mind and regretted past decisions. That is because there was an unrecognized and unrelinquished feeling behind the decision. When the action that was decided upon is taken, the underlying feeling shifts. Then, from the viewpoint of the new feeling space, the decision turns out to be wrong. This happens with such regularity that most people develop a fear of decision making because it turned out to be wrong so often in the past.
Now, I don't know how many of you agree with this, but decision ही नहीं ले पाते, procrastinate करते रहते हैं, stall करते रहते हैं. क्यों? डर लगता है, wrong decision ले लिया तो, कि पहले भी wrong लिया हुआ है. So वो devil आपके mind में lurk कर रहा है, you know, what if I'm wrong? What if this मेरा नजरिया सही नहीं है? What if? So what do? Let's understand further.
Problem solving using the mechanism of surrender can often be lightning quick with problems of long standing. To discover how fast it can work, let's try it out. Take several problems of long standing and stop looking for the answers. Look to see what the underlying feeling is that produced the question in the first place. Once that feeling is let go, the answer will present itself automatically.
Now, इसको टेस्ट करने के लिए क्या करना है? जो भी प्रॉब्लम्स बहुत टाइम चलती आ रही हैं, बहुत टाइम से, उन सबको एज इट इज लेट गो कर देना है, आंसर नहीं खोजना है, जस्ट फ्लो इन इट. And then you will realize after a while अपने आप answers आते हैं, because you have let go, you have surrendered. So the problem will have a solution automatically. अपने आप आ भी जाएगा और आपको मालूम भी पड़ जाएगा. Now let's talk about our lifestyle. Lifestyle में क्या let go करना है? How will it make us a happier person?
Lifestyle. A lot of our activities and attachments are based on fear and anger, guilt and pride. As these negative feelings are relinquished in any given area, we move up to courage. On that level, changes in life begin to occur. Or if we choose to continue the same activity, the motivation is different, and consequently, we will experience different results than in the past. The emotional payoff will at least be different. Instead of grim satisfaction, we may experience joy. We may find ourselves doing the same activity as before, but now we do it out of enjoyment rather than obligation. We do it because we want to, not because we have to. The energy requirement will certainly be much less. One delightful discovery we will make is that our capacity for love is far beyond what we ever dreamed. The more we let go, the more loving we become. More and more of our life will be spent doing things that we love to do, with people for whom we feel increasing love. As this happens, our life becomes transformed. We look different. People respond differently to us. We are relaxed, happy, and easygoing. People are attached to us because
Attracted to us.
attracted to us because they feel comfortable and happy around us. Waitresses and cab drivers suddenly mysteriously become attentive and courteous, and we will wonder what has come over this world. The answer to that question is you have.
Imagine if you arrive. अभी तक you're looking to arrive, you're hoping to arrive, but imagine you arrive. Imagine when you let go of every single attachment, whichever attachment based on the very fact that डर लग रहा है, गिल्ट हो रहा है, या ईगो बीच में आ रही है, क्योंकि ये अच्छी फीलिंग्स नहीं है. अगर इनसे रिलेटेड जो भी हम छोड़ दें उसको, then how will you feel? एंड हमें एकदम से हिम्मत आ जाती है कि ओके, लेट्स मूव द नेक्स्ट लेवल एंड लेट्स फॉलो द वर्ल्ड ऑफ लव, लेट्स ट्रस्ट द प्रोसेस ऑफ लाइफ. नाउ द मिनट यू स्टार्ट डूइंग दैट, automatically you'll start enjoying because you're liberated. कुछ attachment ही नहीं है, आप अपने आप को let go कर रहे हो, and then life will be so beautiful. Why? Because energy saving हो गई है. अब जो energy save हुई है उसको आप थोड़ा सा invest कर रहे हो in a world of love and light. So obviously you will become more love, more light. Obviously people will attract to you. Obviously solutions आएंगे. And then if you say क्या हुआ है, magic हुआ है, because you have let go. So you have arrived. Yes, let's read further how magical this is.
As we let go the negative, we come into our own power. It happens of its own. Happiness was in there all along, and now it shines forth after the blocks to it have been surrendered. We are now influencing everyone with whom we come into contact in a favorable way. Love is the most powerful of all emotional energy vibrations. For love, people will go to any lengths and do things that they would never do for any amount of money. When the negative blocks and I can'ts are removed, whole new areas of life open up to us. Success stems from doing what we like to do best, but most people are tied down to what they imagine they have to do. As limitations are relinquished, whole new avenues of creativity and expression become available. Let's take the example of a young woman with a lot of natural music talent who was spending most of her time at a boring job, which she felt she had to stick to for financial reasons. What she really liked to do was play musical instruments when she was alone at home. It was something that she did strictly for personal enjoyment. Because of the lack of self confidence, she seldom played for other people, even close friends. After she began to let go of her inner limitations, all of the low energy feelings that were blocking her expression, her abilities, and confidence grew so rapidly that she began to play in front of public gatherings. Her talent was well received, and a busy musical career ensued. She made a professional recording that was sufficiently successful that she could cut back to working part time and she began to pour more time and energy into what was now a blossoming career that brought her great joy and satisfaction. Although she had known nothing about business, she now started her own musical business and within a year was distributing the recordings nationally, then in Europe. To her delight, she found that she was very successful by doing what she liked to do best. Her increasing vitality and happiness were apparent to everyone, and success spread to other areas of her life.
नाउ एक रुकावट को खत्म किया हमने, कल भी देखा और आज भी देखा, एंड बाकी सब में वो लाइक इफेक्ट आता है, सब अमेजिंग हो जाता है. हमारे 99.9% all of us have some limitation or the other. बहुत 1% मात्र लोग भी नहीं होते होंगे जो सब कुछ उनके लिए पॉसिबल है, सब कुछ संभव है, जहाँ कोई भी लिमिटेशन नहीं, कुछ ना कुछ लिमिटेशन, कहीं ना कहीं रुकावट मेंटली, फिजिकली, स्पिरिचुअली कुछ ना कुछ होती ही है. बट अगर हम अपने आप को कल्टीवेट करें, मोटिवेट करें, इंस्पायर करें टू कीप लेटिंग गो, हम अगर बार बार अपने आप को रिमाइंड करें कि मुझे ब्रीदिंग वर्क करना है, मुझे लेट गो करना है, ब्रीदिंग वर्क करना है, लेट गो करना है, you can't imagine how life will become amazing, how your energy will be to the next level, how your vitality and happiness will be so evident that the entire world can say, oh my God, something's really magical happened with this guy or this girl, because you have let the blockages go by simply allowing them to be. You've accepted them finally. जब जब आप acceptance ले लेते हो तब automatically हल्की होनी शुरू हो जाती है, because what people have, survival of the fittest वाली बात है. जब आपने उसको accept कर लिया है, if you are fit to accept, you will survive and thrive. But if you're fighting, you're only spending your energy. So do you want to survive or do you want to thrive? Depends completely upon you. Remember, we always have a choice. What are we choosing? Life or suffering? Life has our back. Life is for us. Life is with us. But some people think, "Arey, life means acha nahi kiya myself." So, okay, that's how it's going to be. Let's have a few more examples to understand this concept a little more.
Another example is that of a middle aged engineer with no creative ability who had always hated poetry. After learning to let go of his negative feelings, suddenly he found himself writing haiku, a formal Japanese poetry style. He began writing reams of it effortlessly and later developed the capacity for automatic writing. Still, another example is that of a 60-year-old woman who decided to return to college part time, even though she already had a full time job. Eventually, she attained her bachelor's degree, then her master's degree, and finally a PhD, becoming an important executive with great responsibilities. There are literally thousands of examples that could be cited of the rapid expansions that take place in people's life when the I can'ts are surrendered. Life situations, often of long standing, may be suddenly resolved.
Okay, now ask yourself a question. Look at a problem, whichever problem you have, which you've been holding on, you say, I can't. I can't. And all of a sudden start saying the complete thing. I can do this effortlessly. All I will do is be regular, be disciplined. And life I know will be for me. How do you feel that powerless I can't to the powerful I can? For this, we have to surrender our limitations, our I can'ts, our acceptance that, okay, this is how this is. And now it will change automatically. I leave it, I surrender it. It's going to be such a radical difference. Paradoxically, such breakthroughs and expansions may be upsetting to friends and family members because of shift of balance. Now, the problem with this is आपके आसपास के लोग अनकंफर्टेबल हो जाएंगे बिकॉज आप कंफर्टेबल हो रहे हो फाइनली अपनी स्किन में, तो वो एक्सेप्ट नहीं कर पाएंगे. Things that we had done out of constrictions, fear, guilt or a sense of duty may suddenly be thrown overboard. अब आप हो सकता है बोलो कि नहीं, मैं ये चीज नहीं करना चाहता बिकॉज मुझे ये नहीं करना, डोंट फोर्स मी टू दिस, और मैं अब समाज के लिए, सोसाइटी के लिए और अपने फर्ज के लिए नहीं करना, आई हैव टू लिव फॉर माई सेल्फ. तो कई लोग शायद अपसेट भी हो जाएंगे. But remember, new levels of consciousness change perception and new horizons open up. जब आप अवेयर हो जाते हो कि मेरा अस्तित्व क्या है, मुझे लेट गो करना है अटैचमेंट से, ये जो आपका ड्यूटीज भी है घर वालों की तरफ, ये भी तो आपकी अटैचमेंट है कि मैं बेस्ट कर सकती हूँ या मुझसे एक्सपेक्टेड है करना, राइट? नए होराइजन्स खुलेंगे, नए चीज लाइफ खुलेगी, शायद मेडिटेशन कैंप खुल जाए, शायद कोई लर्निंग खुल जाए, शायद कोई कोर्स आ जाए, शायद कोई किताब आ जाए, यू नेवर नो. मेनी ऑफ द मोटिव्स दैट ड्राइव पीपल may suddenly become meaningless. अभी आपको सुबह उठना है, कुछ आपको चाय बनानी है, उनको पिलानी है. आई डू नॉट से अपनी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज खत्म कर दीजिए, आई एम नॉट सेइंग लाइक दैट. बट जब अपने आप 2-4 दिन नहीं बनाएंगे फॉर वट एवर रीजन आप लेते हैं, the person will learn to make tea on his own. It's all right. Such things as money, fame, esteem, position, prestige, power, ambition, competitiveness, and the need for security diminish. जब आप लेट गो कर रहे हो तो आपको ये चीज चाहिए नहीं ना कि अरे मुझे तो इज्जत अफजाई चाहिए, मुझे तो लोगों से वाह चाहिए, मुझे तो ये चाहिए, मुझे तो वो चाहिए. बिकॉज जब आप लेट गो कर दिया तो आपको इन चीजों की जरूरत ही नहीं है. दे आर बेमानी. बिकॉज नाउ यू लुकिंग एट द मोर मीनिंगफुल थिंग विच इज my higher self, my I, the soul. Now you're going in that journey of love and light. Now they're replaced by which beautiful, powerful emotions? Love, cooperation, fulfillment, freedom, creative expression, expansion of consciousness, understanding, spiritual awareness. Now, isn't this what we are looking at? So just try to do this physically, mentally, emotionally with all your 5 senses. कि एक बार मैं लेट गो करके ट्राई करता हूँ, लेट्स सी क्या होता है, लेट्स सी. देयर टेंड्स टू बी मोर रिलायंस ऑन इंट्यूशन एंड फीलिंग्स देन ऑन थिंकिंग, रीजन एंड लॉजिक. जब आप इस दुनिया में आएंगे तब आप अपना रीजन एंड ये लॉजिक इतना दिखना बंद कर दोगे, मैजिक ही मैजिक आएगा. बिकॉज आप अपने इंट्यूशन को फॉलो करोगे. इंट्यूशन क्या है, कैन समवन टेल मी? जो इंट्यूशन आती है वो कहाँ से आती है? Why do people say follow your gut instinct? Why do people say follow your intuition? Why do they say it? Quickly, I want an answer. What do you think intuition is? No, heart has a feeling. Intuition क्या होती है? Intuition कहाँ से आती है? Intuition हमारे higher self देता है हमें, वो guidance आती है. Awareness भी नहीं है. Intuition is always from our higher self, always, come what may. Higher self एक आपको guidance दे रहा है, तो आपको intuition आ रहा है. एंड उस समय अगर आप उसको फॉलो कर लिया, rather than thinking कि अरे मैं इसको करूं कि नहीं करूं, things will become so beautiful. People who are very yang may discover their yin side and vice versa. Some people are very masculine-ish. Some people are very feminine-ish. And now they'll feel whole and complete, Shiva and Shakti, because you have now aligned yourself with your higher self. You're now going with your intuition. And now it's just going more and more and more. Get that very, very, very clearly. Safety and security become less important in discovery and exploration. People's personal lives pick up momentum and movement replaces stuck in a rut life pattern. एकदम से freedom दिखती है, oh wow. एकदम से जो normal mundane life में भी मजा आने लग जाता है. You start enjoying things around you because now you have let go. One surprising observation about the mechanism of letting go is that the major change can take place very rapidly. Lifetime patterns can suddenly disappear, and long-standing inhibitions can be let go of in a matter of minutes, hours, or days. You know, I worked with somebody, he had a problem for 38 years of his life. And guess what? एक second में उनको वो aha eureka moment आया, not even a second, I think. It was like, oh, ऐसे इसलिए है. अच्छा मैं छोड़ देता हूँ इसको. And 38 years का let go करके, that man just went to the roof. उनके सब कुछ, उनकी वो ब्लॉकेज खत्म हो गई, रिलेशनशिप बेटर हो गए, बिजनेस बेटर हो गया, हेल्थ बेटर हो गई. बिकॉज एक ब्लॉकेज को उन्होंने रिमूव किया, वो पूरी लाइफ बेटर हो गई. The life energy set free by the letting go of negativity now flows into positive attitudes, thoughts, feelings, with the progressive increase of personal power. Thoughts are now effective. More is accomplished with less effort. Effortlessly होना शुरू हो जाएगा. Intention is made powerful by the removal of doubts, fears, and inhibitions. अब आपकी gratitude से intentions आएंगे कि यार आई एम सो थैंकफुल ये intention के लिए. मेरे को डाउट ही नहीं है कि कब नहीं होगा, ऑफ कोर्स होगा. जब मैंने मांगा है, मुझे विश्वास है तो मिलेगा ही. दैट्स एटीट्यूड आपका हो जाता है, गो गेटर एटीट्यूड हो जाता है कि एवरीथिंग इज पॉसिबल इन माय लाइफ. With the removal of negativity, dynamic forces are unloosened. so that there were once impossible dreams have now become actualized goals. आप एकदम से अपनी टू डू लिस्ट देखेंगे and you will realize ये भी हो गया, 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 because मैंने ब्लॉकेट खत्म कर दी. ऑफ कोर्स आई एम नॉट सेइंग कि जो हमने पढ़ा है वो काम में नहीं आएगा. डेडलाइंस लगाना, अपने आप को रियलिटी चेक करना, आंसरेबिलिटी लेना, वो सब तो इम्पोर्टेंट है ही प्रोसेस में. बट कई बार वो नहीं करने से भी ऑटोमेटिकली रास्ते खुलते हैं. इंट्यूशन को फॉलो करने से भी यू डन इट ऑल. मैं इसका एक और डेविल्स एडवोकेट करती हूँ. अगर हम सब मैनिफेस्ट करना बंद कर दें फॉर एग्जाम्पल, और एफर्मेशन लिखना बंद कर दें, और ब्लेसिंग काउंट करना बंद कर दें, तो क्या होने वाला है? फॉर एग्जाम्पल हमने साल, 2 साल, 3 साल, 7 साल ये सब प्रैक्टिस कर ली फॉर एग्जाम्पल. इसके बाद हमारी बॉडी में एक्चुअली वो प्रोसेस अपने आप आ जाएगा. उठते जागते सोते करते आप एफर्मेशन में बात करोगे, आप हर समय ब्लेसिंग्स काउंट कर रहे होगे, तब इट वुड नॉट मैटर उतना कि अगर आप लिख रहे हो कि नहीं. दो मेरी ओपिनियन में ये 20 मिनट जो हम रोज देते हैं देने ही चाहिए, बट उसके बाद भी सब कुछ एफर्टलेसली हो जाएगा, बिकॉज इट विल बी पार्ट ऑफ योर ब्लड सिस्टम, योर सर्कुलेशन सिस्टम, इट विल बी पार्ट ऑफ योर डीएनए. नया डीएनए आ जाएगा आपका. एंड तब आप नेगेटिविटी पे हार्प करना बंद कर दोगे. एंड दैट इज द पर्सनल पावर ऑल ऑफ अस शुड वर्क ऑन. रिमेंबर, ओनली यू हैव द पावर. नोबडी विल कम एंड गिव इट टू यू. दीज ब्यूटीफुल ऑथर्स कम एंड टेल अस सो मच, बट करना हमें है. एटीट्यूड हमारा बदलना है. So at this point, let's do a sun salutation, and then we will read the resolution of psychological problems. And while doing sun salutation, enjoy the sun salutation from every part of your body, whichever is touching the sun, and get the energy very, very beautifully. And even if you're not doing the sun salutation for whatever reasons, see the posture, imagine yourself doing it. Creative visualization भी करिए, उससे भी फर्क पड़ता है. And pranam करना मत भूलिए. Let's do it.
The Surya Namaskar with mantras. Om Mitraye Namaha. Om Ravaye Namaha. Om Suryaye Namaha. Om Bhanave Namaha. Om Khagaye Namaha. Om Pushne Namaha. Om Hiranyagarbhaye Namaha. Om Marichaye Namaha. Om Adityaye Namaha. Om Savitre Namaha. Om Arkaye Namaha. Om Bhaskaraye Namaha. Salutations to the universal friend. Salutations to the resplendent sun. Salutations to the energy that induces activity within us. Salutations to the one who illumines. Salutations to the sun moving across the sky. Salutations to the giver of strength. Salutations to the golden cosmic self. Salutations to the Lord of the dawn. Salutations to the son of Aditi, the cosmic mother. Salutations to the benevolent mother. Salutations to the energy that we praise, and to the one who guides us to salvation. The sun salutation now with the names of the postures, both in Sanskrit and English. Pranamasana, Hastuttanasana, Madhahastasana, left leg back, Ashwasanchalanasana, Parvatasana. And hold this position, and now slowly progressing into the deeper version of Parvatasana, Adho Mukh Svanasana. Ashtang Namaskar, Bhujangasana, Parvatasana. Left forward, Ashwasanchalanasana, Padahastasana, Hastuttanasana, Pranamasana. On the right side, prayer position, Raised arms pose. Hand to feet pose. Right leg back, equestrian pose. Mountain pose. Hold mountain pose. And slowly moving into the deeper version of mountain, the downward facing dog. Salute with 8 limbs. Cobra. Press back to mountain. Right forward, equestrian pose. Hand to feet pose. Raised arms position. Prayer pose. One round of the sun salutation with awareness on the breathing. So exhaling our hands to the chest, pranam. Inhaling as we bend back. We exhale as we fold forward. Left leg back, inhale as we're arching back. Exhale into the forward. Hold the breath for knees, chest, chin. Inhale as we arch back. Exhale into the forward. Left leg forward, inhale. This is a back bend. Exhale whenever we bend forward. Inhale as we bend back. Exhale, hands to the chest. And on the right, deep breathing. Exhale. A deep inhale. A long exhale. Right leg back with an inhale. And exhale. Hold the breath. Inhale. And exhale. Right leg forward with a deep inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale.
All right. Now let's talk about how we will resolve the psychological problems in comparison with psychotherapy. Yes, Rachel, please read it.
In general, letting go is often more rapid than psychotherapy. It is often more liberating and stimulating to the growth of consciousness and awareness. Psychotherapy, however, is better designed to elucidate underlying patterns. The two may work well together. The mechanism of letting go facilitates and speeds up psychotherapy, and it elevates its goals. Psychotherapy may be more gratifying intellectually because of its verbal nature and its focus on the whys behind behavior. However, that is also its limitation. Too often, intellectual insight is also that's really achieved, and the emotional working through is slow, often painful, and ultimately avoided. The mechanism of letting go, on the other hand, is concerned with the emotional what from moment to moment without involving the intellect. The why becomes apparent of itself once the what has been relinquished. It's one thing to analyze the casual basis of depression and quite another to enter fully into the depth of hopelessness by letting go of your resistance to the feeling. By allowing the full feeling of it and by letting go of every sensation, every thought, and every little payoff you are getting from it, you are free. It's not necessary to probe the why of depression to become free from the what of it.
Let's understand this deeply.
The
इसमें
goals
बात
of
करी
letting
जा
go
रही है,
are far beyond those of psychotherapy.
Ruchi, 1 second. Very, very important for us to understand that there is something called depression. What is the casual basis of depression? पूछते हैं जब मुझे depression क्यों हुआ, मैं resist करूं कि मुझे depression क्यों हुआ, मैं answers पूछूं मुझे depression क्यों हुआ. What if I let go? अरे हुआ तो हुआ, कुछ सिखाने ही आया होगा. अरे, so what's the big deal? ठीक है, let's go through it. But if I don't go through it with the welcoming nature, I don't welcome it, then what will happen? It'll become slow, painful, and it'll go on and on and on. Intellectually, emotionally, it'll drain you out. Brain fog हो जाएगा. कोई payoff नहीं मिलने वाला because आप questions कर रहे हो problem की जड़ तो बहुत सारी होती है. अब उस जड़ को ढूंढने में तो psychotherapy does help. But psychotherapy, in fact, it's so beautiful. Your therapist, if he or she is good, they will take you deep, deep, deep down through meditations, through exercises, and they will make you realize you're healed. Sometimes, as a human being, we can't find out what's deep within a consciousness, but the psychotherapists happen. But अगर आप psychotherapy करते हो with a fussy nature कि नहीं मुझे तो प्रॉब्लम है, मुझे तो प्रॉब्लम है, हाँ आपने तो कुछ सेशन किया फर्क ही नहीं पड़ा, what's the point? But if you surrender in that session completely कि okay I am completely with you, आप जो बोलोगे that's what I do, your healing will be so much more faster. But अगर आप सेशन नहीं भी लेते हो और सिर्फ लेट गो करते हो, अपने आप रास्ते खुलेंगे, अपने आप अवेकनिंग होगी आपकी. लेट्स रीड फर्दर. Okay, I don't think if Ruchi is here. Let's see. The goals of letting go are far beyond those of psychotherapy. The ultimate aim of letting go and surrendering is total freedom. The goal of therapy is readjustment of the ego to a more healthy balance. The two systems are based on different paradigms of reality. The objective of psychotherapy is to replace unsatisfactory mental programs with more satisfactory ones. Okay, please understand. In contrast, the objective of letting go is the elimination of limiting mental and emotional programs. It is the attainment of an unconditional mind and ultimately transcendence of the mind itself to higher states of consciousness of love and peace. दोनों के इंटेंशन में क्या फर्क है? साइकोथेरेपी में आप बोल रहे हो कि मुझे मेंटली ये प्रॉब्लम है, अब मुझे इसका सोल्यूशन चाहिए, ठीक है, आप सोल्यूशन खोज रहे हो. लेटिंग गो में आप क्या कर रहे हो? आप सोल्यूशन खोज नहीं रहे हो, आप बस एलिमिनेट कर रहे हो जो कुछ भी आपके अनरिक्वायर्ड है. आप बोल रहे हो लेट गो, लेट गो, लेट गो. अब जब आप अनकंडीशनली लेट गो कर रहे हो तो आपका माइंड कहाँ जाएगा? हाई स्टेट्स ऑफ कॉन्शियसनेस में जाएगा ही जाएगा, लव एंड पीस में. जो एनर्जी आप यूज कर रहे थे बॉडी में टू फाइंड द आंसर्स, दैट एनर्जी इज नाउ गोइंग अपवर्ड. एनर्जी तो एनर्जी चाहिए तो होगा ही, अब यहाँ यूज नहीं कर रहे, कहीं और जाएगा. आप बॉडी को ही कंपेयर कर लो. अगर आपने खाना खाया तो बॉडी की एनर्जी क्या होती है? खाने को पचाने में, डाइजेशन में लग जाती है. अगर आपने खाना नहीं खाया तो एनर्जी क्या करेगी? हीलिंग में लग जाएगी, काम तो करेगी. इट कांट बी स्टैग्नेंट ना, बिकॉज़ एनर्जी इज ऑलवेज मूविंग. तो आपको तभी बोलते हैं इंटरमिटेंट फास्टिंग कर लो. इंटरमिटेंट फास्टिंग के दौरान कुछ टाइम तक खाना डाइजेस्ट करती है एनर्जी, उसके बाद हील करती है. सो इसलिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है अपने आप को लेट गो करना. लेट गो इज लाइक इंटरमिटेंट फास्टिंग. लेट गो, लेट गो. जो लोग फल फूल पे रहते हैं उनका कितना अमेजिंग है ना, किचन में खाना नहीं बनना, मसाले नहीं डालने, कुछ नहीं, लेट गो कर लेते हैं. व्हाई डू यू थिंक दे एबल टू लिव सो ब्यूटीफुली? व्हाई डू यू थिंक एक मील खा पाते हैं? बिकॉज लेट गो कर दिया खाने के लव से भी. नाउ दैट फॉर मी इज द बिगेस्ट लेट गो फैक्टर. हम लोग कंट्रोल करे हुए हैं अपनी जुबान से, या तो इल बोल देते हैं और जो बोल देते हैं वापस नहीं आता, या खाने पे अब ये खाएं, अब ये खाएं, अब ये खाएं. इसको अगर हमने कंट्रोल कर लिया तो लाइफ अमेजिंग हो जाए. कंट्रोल करने के लिए क्या करना है? लेट गो करना है. कंट्रोल नहीं करना कि मैं नहीं खाऊंगा, मैं नहीं बोलूंगा, वो तो फिर और बोलेंगे, वो रेजिस्टेंस आ रही है. लेट गो. अब जो होगा देखा जाएगा, बट जो होगा डिवाइन गाइडेंस से आएगा. आई एम नाउ फॉलोइंग. जब आपने मैंने डिवाइन गाइडेंस बोल दिया, अपने आप लव एंड पीस को, लव एंड लाइट को अपनी लाइफ में आपने अट्रैक्ट कर लिया. अपने आप कुछ नेगेटिव नहीं बोलोगे, नेगेटिव नहीं खाओगे. बट अगर आप बोलते हो नहीं मैं नहीं खाऊंगा या मैं नहीं बोलूंगा, तो अगेन रेजिस्टेंस है. Very important to let go at every stage in her life. Very, very, very important. Let's read further. Ruchi, you can read.
In therapy, there is dependence on therapists and their training and techniques. And there is also reliance on a psychological theory to which the therapist and the patient both subscribe. Scientific research reveals that the results of therapy are not related to the therapist's school of psychotherapy, training, or technique. Instead, the results are related to the interaction between them and the degree of the patient's desire to improve, as well as the patient's faith and confidence in the therapist. Therefore, psychic factors are operating of which psychotherapy is unaware. With the mechanism of letting go, there is no patient role and no dependency on another person or theory. The very wellsprings of neurotic patterns automatically unfold as they are acknowledged, relinquished, and disappear. Their basis is often at depths untouched by psychotherapy, except for the few holistic frameworks, example, Jungian analysis, transpersonal psychology. Therapy can be based on a limited understanding of the total mind. It commonly addresses itself only to a portion of the ego. It ignores and does not comprehend the great forces that determine, drive, and control the mind. Since the purpose of most psychotherapy is a well adjusted ego, there is no conception of what is beyond the ego.
Very, very important to understand. क्या हम डिपेंडेंट बनना चाहते हैं या इंडिपेंडेंट बनना चाहते हैं? देखिए, अगर हम डिपेंडेंट बन रहे हैं फॉर अ वाइल, इट्स ओके. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अभी हमें नए नए वर्ल्ड में आए हैं, स्पिरिचुअल वर्ल्ड में, अगर हमको लगता है कि हमें 1-2 घंटा रोज देना है विद सम टीचर और विद समबडी, एंड वी वांट टू गो एंड वी वांट टू प्रैक्टिस, बिकॉज अभी हम अपने आप से नहीं स्टेबल हुए हैं, दैट मीन्स हम डिपेंडेंट कर रहे हैं, चाहे वो साइकोथेरेपिस्ट है, चाहे वो सम टाइम ऑफ टीचर है. It's okay. But imagine अगर हमने let go कर दिया for the love of that class or that psychotherapist, and we know that there's no teacher and there's no student. I am the student and I am the teacher, and I have these beautiful books. Again, I can be dependent. Now, how much independency I want depends upon me. अब कई लोग जो यूनिफाइड की जर्नी पूरी कर चुके हैं, वो एक्चुअली इंडिपेंडेंट बन चुके हैं. उनको जरूरत ही नहीं है बुक्स की, किसी भी चीज की, बिकॉज नाउ 1-2-3 घंटा दे सिटिंग इन मेडिटेशन विद देयर हायर सेल्फ. सारी गाइडेंस तो वहां से मिल जाती है. बट जो लोग उतना नहीं बैठ सकते, एटलीस्ट कोई किताब ही मिल जाए, कुछ तो हेल्प मिल जाए. सो इट्स ओके. नाउ व्हाट इज हैपनिंग इज, हम अनटच्ड हैं अपने खुद के इंट्यूशन पावर से. अनटच्ड द फॉर्म दैट बहुत कम फॉलो करते हैं इंट्यूशन को. Now, holistic frameworks बहुत होते हैं. Psychotherapists are good. I'm not saying no, they're bad, but please understand our entire drive is to understand the purpose of ourself. The purpose of ourself without the ego, without the I, me, and am. And the minute we let go, the world opens. अभी प्रॉब्लम क्या, साइकोथेरेपी की जरूरत क्यों पड़ती है या टीचर्स की जरूरत क्यों पड़ती है? अपने अंदर से मैं नहीं निकल रहा. मी मीनाक्षी, मी रुचि, मी प्रतिमा, मी प्राची नहीं निकल रहा. लोगों को आई नीड दिस, यार ये तो होना ही चाहिए, अच्छा ऐसा होना चाहिए. अटैचमेंट, अटैचमेंट, अटैचमेंट. Now let's understand the purpose of letting go once more. Yes, Ruchi.
The purpose of letting go, in contrast, is the elimination of the ego. The ego is fearful and limited, and when it is surrendered, the inner self stands forth, and what was always more powerful is revealed. Many psychotherapies have no real knowledge of the self and are therefore blind to reality itself. As for efficacy, psychotherapy is like a horse and buggy, while the mechanism of surrender and letting go is like a spaceship. In the time it takes for therapy to slowly poke about a limited area, letting go has already moved far beyond it into a whole new dimension. Letting go has a peculiar advantage in that the surrendering of one negative feeling also relinquishes the energy behind many other negative feelings. So there is a constant cross the board effect. For instance, a successful and well educated man had a lifelong terrible fear of heights, an intense phobia. At the time that he learned how to utilize the mechanism of surrender, he had many pressing problems in his life. After learning how to surrender, he was busy with letting go of his feelings and fears about major life problems and never got around to specifically working on his lifelong fear of heights. When he was later in a situation involving standing on a roof, he was amazed to discover that his fear had greatly lessened. He was delighted and went to the edge of the roof where he sat dangling his feet. He was now able to get up on ladders and go on the roof for an hour with no discomfort. This illustrates that as one fear is relinquished, all fear is diminished non-specifically.
How beautiful, no? आपका एम क्या है? लेट गो करने से, लेट गो कर रहे हो फियर को, डर को, गिल्ट को, रिजेंटमेंट को, जो भी आपको पीछे होल्ड कर रहा है. I have let go and I can't let go and I am letting go and I am moving in my life and I am scaling up. अपने आप आपकी प्रॉब्लम्स खत्म हो जाएंगी. इस इंसान को फोबिया था हाइट्स का, वो खत्म हो गया. क्या इससे दिख रहा है कि अगर एक फियर को छोड़ा तो सारे फियर खत्म हो जाएंगे. तो हम चाहते हैं ना फियरलेस बनना. हु वांट्स टू बी फियरफुल? लोग बोलते हैं बायोडेटास में, इंडियन बायोडेटास में मदर इज वेरी फियरफुल, गॉड फियरिंग, स्पिरिचुअल. अरे हु, गॉड डजंट टेल यू टू फियर. जो ये लिख रहे हैं ना वो स्पिरिचुअल तो पहली बात का सब भी नहीं जानते. मैं ये नहीं बोल रही कि वो नहीं जानते, हम बेटर जानते हैं, बट जस्ट लुक एट इट. The less is more. You've heard of this many times, right? जितना कम अटैचमेंट्स है उतना ज्यादा आप डीपर हो. जितने कम अटैचमेंट्स है उतना आप ज्यादा इंटेंस हो, उतने बेटर हो, उतने आगे हो. जो लोग बहुत सारा क्लटर लेके रखते हैं, डेस्क पे क्लटर होता है, चीजों पे क्लटर, वो अंदर से क्लटर होते हैं. लेस रखोगे तो इतना संभाल नहीं करना पड़ेगा. There'll be more. कपड़े लेस रखोगे. If you have, I know of this one lady I've talked about you पहले. She's super duper rich. उसकी अलमारी खोल लो, कपड़े मिलेंगे 3-4 जीन्स, 10 एक टॉप, उसमें फॉर्मल भी है, इनफॉर्मल भी है. वो खत्म नया आता है. कुछ झंझट ही नहीं है. बैग रखती है 1 या 2 सीजन में यूज किया, खत्म हुआ, हटा दिया. नो केयर की लुई विटॉन्स है, प्राडास है, अर्मीज है, खत्म हो गया. अगर बैग की लाई तो गॉन. इमेजिन वो थॉट प्रोसेस क्या होगा उसका. और हम लोग, लाइक आई कैन टॉक अबाउट मी, आई एम अ होर्डर. I don't know how many wardrobes I have. I don't know how much I have. But this time I made a conscious effort कि no, I will let go. Wedding का stuff क्यों रखा हुआ है? They may be designer clothes, they may be whatever. What for? And I feel so much good. Yesterday also I let go so many things in the first day of the new year. I said, let's clutter. हमारी न्यूरोटिक फॉर्मेशन जो हमारे अंदर आती है वो भी चेंज होती है जब हम लेट गो करते हैं. आप फिजिकली क्या कर रहे हो उसका इम्पैक्ट इमोशनली में बहुत पड़ता है. साइकोथेरेपी एम्स एट द एमिलियोरेशन ऑफ न्यूरोटिक पैटर्न्स. मतलब उसका जो रिजल्ट आता है उसको बेटर करता है. कि बेटर आपके पैटर्न्स को थिंकिंग में बेटर करता है. लेटिंग गो से क्या होता है, जो आपके अंडरलाइनिंग कॉजेज हैं उस फॉर्मेशन की वजह से वो ही खत्म हो जाते हैं. साइकोथेरेपी आपको एक रास्ता दिखा रहा है, बट लेटिंग गो आपको तो जड़ से ही खत्म कर रहा है. जो आपका बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर था, जो आपने मैल अडेप्शन किया था कि मुझे फीलिंग आ रही है, मुझे बिहेवियर आ रहा है, वो ही खत्म हो जाता है. साइकोथेरेपी से इंप्रूवमेंट होता है न्यूरोटिक बैलेंस में. लेटिंग गो से प्रॉब्लम भी खत्म हो जाती है. तो हमें क्या करना है? डू वी वांट टू इन्वेस्ट मनी इन अ साइकोथेरेपिस्ट और डू वी वांट टू लेट गो? Please, answer is completely within you. What do you want to do? Now let's read the last paragraph. Yes, please.
A limitation of most psychotherapeutic frameworks is that the therapist is constricted to what the world calls a healthy, functioning ego with all its restrictions. In this paradigm, a healthy patient is considered to be one who shares the same illusions and limitations condoned by society and the therapist. By contrast, the purpose of the mechanism of surrender is to transcend the illusions of the world and reach the ultimate truth behind it, which is self realization, and to discover the very basis of the mind itself, the source of all thought and feeling. The goal of letting go is the elimination of the very source of all suffering and pain. This sounds radical and startling, and in fact, it is. Ultimately, all negative feelings stem from the same source. When enough negative feelings have been relinquished, that source reveals itself. When that source itself is let go of and disidentified with, the ego dissolves. The source of suffering, therefore, loses the very basis of its power. Each of us has a limit to the amount of negative feelings we have stored up. When the pressure behind an emotion has been let go, that emotion no longer occurs. For instance, if fear is constantly surrendered for a period of time, eventually it runs out. It then becomes difficult or almost impossible to feel further fear. It takes progressively more and more of a stimulus to elicit it. Finally, the person who has surrendered a great deal of fear actually has to search for it diligently. The energy of fear simply isn't there anymore. Anger also progressively diminishes so that even a major provocation fails to elicit it. A person with little fear or anger feels primarily love all of the time and experiences a loving acceptance of events, people, and the vicissitudes of life.
Let's understand this. जब हमने let go कर दिया, कोई भी परेशानी, कोई भी प्रॉब्लम, कुछ भी, तो हमें फर्क पड़ेगा नेगेटिविटी का? जब हमारी ईगो ही डिसॉल्व हो गई, जब मैं आई प्राची नहीं हूँ, आई एम जस्ट अ पर्सन एंड इट्स ओके, मेरा कोई इंटेलिजेंस लेवल ऊपर नहीं है, कम ज्यादा नहीं है, कम नहीं है, आई एम जस्ट वन ऑफ देम। जब मैंने ऐसा एटीट्यूड कर लिया, तो नेगेटिव फीलिंग्स जो स्टोर्ड अप है वो धीरे धीरे खत्म हो जाएंगी। आपकी बॉडी में जब जो लोग लंबा फास्ट करते हैं, बहुत बॉडी में फैट स्टोर्ड होता है, राइट? जब आप खाना पीना कम कर देते हो, जेंट्स के बारे में आपको पता होगा, 1 महीना कुछ नहीं खाते हैं, वजन क्यों गिर जाता है? जो वहां स्टोर्ड है फैट, दैट स्टार्ट गेटिंग यूज्ड एज एनर्जी, बिकॉज जब एनर्जी चाहिए होती है तो उससे निकलती है। जब आपकी बॉडी में आपने नेगेटिविटी स्टोर करी हुई है और अब आप नई नेगेटिविटी नहीं ला रहे हो एंड लेट को करे जा रहे हो, तो आपने और भरना भंडार को बंद कर दिया, और जो है वो भी धीरे धीरे निकलने शुरू हो गया, बिकॉज एनर्जी तो चाहिए। आपको इमोशंस की जरूरत ही नहीं, बिकॉज आपने लेट गो कर दिया। अब जब डर ही नहीं है, तो नाउ व्हाट्स बिकमिंग? यू आर बिकमिंग फियरलेस अगेन। जब आप फियरलेस हो रहे हो, कोई इंसान आपको आके गाली भी दे देगा, अब्यूज भी कर देगा, इलविल भी बोल देगा, आप उसको सुन के अनसुना कर दोगे। अब आप रिस्पॉन्ड करोगे, रिएक्ट नहीं करोगे, बिकॉज कितना भी कोई आपको भड़का ले, आप नहीं भड़कोगे अगर आपने ट्रूली लेट गो किया है तो। और एक और चीज है, अगर आप नहीं लेट गो कर सकते, सिंपली मूव आउट ऑफ दैट डिस बैड फीलिंग जोन। Please, love is all we have, love is all we want, loving acceptance of events, people and vicissitudes of life is what will make us stronger. जो है जैसा है बढ़िया है। जब हम उसको एक्सपीरियंस करते हैं, वी आर एक्चुअली लेटिंग गो ऑफ अ पर्टिकुलर थिंग कि नहीं, ऐसा होना चाहिए, ऐसा होना चाहिए, ये ऐसा ही है, लेट इट बी। जो लोग हर समय बोलते रहते दूसरों को ऐसा करो, ऐसा करो, ऐसा करो, बिकॉज दे आर सो स्टक इन लाइफ, दे आर नॉट एबल टू एक्सेप्ट पीपल। वो भले ही बोल देते हैं कि नहीं मैं सबको एक्सेप्ट करता हूँ, पर वो स्टक हैं। सो लेट्स लेट इट बी, लेट्स फॉलो अ लाइफ, लिव एंड लेट लिव, let just surrender. Now again, yes, this last paragraph of this particular chapter, which you
Goal
please
of
read.
surrender is transcendence. Psychotherapy accepts levels of behavior as healthy that, from the viewpoint of total freedom, are unacceptable. For instance, in psychotherapy, minimal fear, anger, and pride might be considered necessary or acceptable levels of functioning and perhaps even healthy. But as we have seen, the innate destructiveness behind those lower states is ultimately not acceptable, given the power of surrender to transcend them totally. Beyond the acceptable level of functioning awaits our greater destiny, total freedom.
Very important to understand this. हमारा अल्टीमेट गोल क्या है? कि हम ट्रांसेंड कर जाएं। साइकोथेरेपी हमको एक्सेप्ट करवा देती है कि ओके ये बिहेवियर ठीक है, जो था जैसा था, एक पर्टिकुलर व्यू पॉइंट था लाइफ में, एंड अब उससे फ्री हो चुके हैं, अब वो एक्सेप्टेबल नहीं है, वो था, अब वी कांट डू एनीथिंग अबाउट इट। तो उससे क्या होगा? अब हमको घबराहट नहीं होगी, डर नहीं होगा, गुस्सा जो आ रहा था वो नहीं, हमने एक्सेप्ट कर लिया कि चलो ठीक था जो था। लेकिन जो हमारे अंदर इनेट डिस्ट्रक्टिवनेस बनी हुई है, उसको कैसे करें? जो हम उसको बार 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 लेट को करेंगे, तो डिस्ट्रक्टिवनेस को डिस्ट्रक्ट कर देंगे, हम एक्सेप्ट करना शुरू कर देंगे। जब एक्सेप्ट करते शुरू कर देंगे, हमारे अंदर पावर आ जाएगी, पावर टू सरेंडर, एंड द मिनट वी सरेंडर, we are going up and up and up, and that is when total freedom is available. Let's talk about chapter 70, transformation. What is happening in our journey? We call this a life transformation series. अभी तक क्या हुआ है और क्या करना है, कहाँ जाना है? Let's understand that. Ruchi, let's start.
Transformation. Although letting go seems simple and easy, its ultimate effects are profoundly powerful. A quick little surrender done in an almost off-handed manner can sometimes bring about a major change in our life. We can picture it being similar to the wheel of a ship. If we make even a 1 degree change in the ship's compass, we will notice very little difference. But as the ship sails over the sea hour after hour, day after day, a 1 degree change in the compass will end up taking us to a very different place, many miles from where the original course would have taken us. In this chapter, we want to look at the effect that the mechanism of surrender has on those areas of life with which most people are concerned: health, wealth, and happiness. We will discuss these areas as they are usually experienced by the majority of people and make a contrast to the changes that will occur as the practice of letting go progresses. These changes are quite obvious when we watch the lives of others who use the technique. They will become obvious in your own life as well. Sometimes you will not be aware of them. Therefore, it is suggested that you keep a list of goals and check off the gains as they occur so that you remain conscious and aware of the progress. This self awareness step is to circumvent a peculiarity of the mind. When we decide on a specific technique to improve our life, and when improvement occurs, the mind has a peculiar tendency to discount the very technique that brought about the change. It is as though the mind's ego is so vain that it doesn't want to give credit where credit is due.
Again, very important, even in our journey of letting go, to have a list. Now you can't let go of this list because abhi hum develop kar rahe hain muscle of letting go. Understand किस राह पे जा रहे हैं बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. आज जाना है मुझे होनोलुलु, पहुंच जाता हूं मैं टिम्बकटू, बिकॉज मुझे पता ही नहीं वो 1 डिग्री का वेरिएशन भी हो गया तो माय शिप तो विल गो इन डिफरेंट डायरेक्शन ऑल टुगेदर. बीच समुद्र में 1 डिग्री का मैंने अननोइंगली शिफ्ट ले लिया. अब 1 डिग्री में यहाँ पहुंचता मैं यहाँ पहुंच गया हूँ. डिफरेंट कंट्री, डिफरेंट कॉन्टिनेंट. व्हाई? बिकॉज मैंने अपना लिस्ट ही नहीं किया कि मुझे कहाँ जाना है. सो कहाँ जाना है निर्धारित करना हमारा काम है. नाउ हर रुकाव पे या हर पड़ाव पे जब भी हम रुक जाएं या जब भी हम आगे बढ़ जाएं, उसकी अवेयरनेस होना जरूरी है कि हम यहाँ पहुंचे हैं, यहाँ है. एंड कॉम्प्लीमेंट करना जरूरी है, एक्नॉलेज करना जरूरी है कि मेरी लाइफ इंप्रूव हुई है, डेफिनेटली फर्क पड़ा है एंड मैं इस टेक्निक को यूज करते चले जाऊंगा और मेरी ईगो भी कम हुई है, मेरा गुस्सा भी कम हुआ है. एंड वी मस्ट गिव द क्रेडिट वेयर क्रेडिट इज ड्यू. रिमेंबर, जितनी हम क्रेडिट देते हैं उतना हमें आगे फायदा मिलता है. बिकॉज क्रेडिट नहीं दिया तो हमने अपने आप फिर रुकावट डाल दिया. अगर आप कुछ चीज कर रहे हो, उसकी तारीफ नहीं कर रहे, उसको बता नहीं रहे कि उसको आपको उससे फायदा है, इट्स यूजलेस. क्योंकि आपने अपनी आय में एम को करा हुआ है कि नहीं मैं तो नहीं कर सकता या मुझे तो नहीं करना, मैं तो इतना फर्क नहीं पड़ा. हर चीज में हमको फर्क पड़ता है लाइफ में, हर चीज में. यहाँ तक कि हम क्या खाना खा रहे हैं, नहीं खा रहे हैं, सात्विक है कि तामसिक है कि राजसिक है, उससे भी फर्क पड़ता है. सो क्रेडिट देना जरूरी है. हम लोग क्यों हर समय खाने के पहले प्रे करते हैं, या आप लोग करते हैं, बड़े लोग क्यों करते हैं? एवरी मील मैटर्स, एवरी मॉर्सल मैटर्स. सो कॉम्प्लीमेंट इट, थैंक द for the grace, for the the blessing that you have had कि वो खाना आपके सामने परोसा गया है. Very important to understand. Let's continue.
This proclivity of mind to discount inner progress is sometimes quite comical. For instance, a man who had been stuck in the same job position for 23 years began using the technique of letting go. Within a couple of months, he suddenly jumped to the position of vice president, and by the end of the year, he was president of the company. When asked if he was pleased with himself about what he had accomplished by using the inner technique, his mind totally discounted it and ascribed his gains to shifts in business patterns. His marriage had also improved, and the mind again ascribed the improvements to external reasons. My wife's attitudes finally changed. The relationship with his son also improved, and the mind again circumvented the inner transformation and said it was due to the fact that his son was getting older.
This is a problem with all of us. हमें कुछ चीज मिलती है, कोई ट्रेजर मिलता है, हम उसको लाइफ में यूज करते हैं और फिर हम डिस्काउंट कर देते हैं उसको कि नहीं ये तो इसकी वजह से हुआ, ये तो इसकी वजह से हुआ. अब यहाँ ये इसका बिजनेस में वाइस प्रेसिडेंट बना, प्रेसिडेंट बना, इसलिए वो कुछ बिजनेस का में डायरेक्शन बदल दी. वाइफ का एटीट्यूड बदला, इसलिए रिलेशनशिप बदल गया. बेटे से बेटर हुआ बिकॉज बेटा डिफरेंट तरीके से करने लग गया, वो बड़ा हो रहा है ना, इसलिए अक्लमंद हो रहा है. ये नहीं देखा कि हमारी माइंड में हमने क्या किया, हमने लेटिंग गो किया. लेटिंग गो करने से कितने फायदे हुए, बट हमने लेटिंग गो को भूल गए. हम इसलिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है किस टूल को, किस टेक्निक को यूज करो, किस इंसान को यूज करे, उसको बताना कि थैंक यू, मैंने लेट गो किया, आप मेरी लाइफ में आए, आप मैंने लेट गो करा, तो थैंक यू लेटिंग गो। लेटिंग गो को भी तो थैंक यू करो ना कि भाई लेटिंग गो मैंने आपको करा है तो लाइफ में ये चीजें आई हैं, या किसकी वजह से लेट गो किया है। अगर हम बोलना भूल जाए डेविड हॉकिंस को कि थैंक यू, आपने बुक लिखी और मैंने समझा और मैं लेट गो किया, तो फायदा क्या मेरा? व्हाट्स द पॉइंट? वापस मैं लेटिंग इन करना शुरू कर दूंगा लेटिंग गो की जगह, बिकॉज जब मैंने थैंक यू नहीं बोला, वो पैटर्न सीख आपको सिखाने के लिए थैंक यू दोबारा आपकी लाइफ में आएगा। क्या आप चाहते हो ढाक के 3 पात बैक टू द स्क्वायर वन? डू यू वांट टू बी गोइंग बैक वेयर यू आर? लेट्स टॉक अबाउट फर्दर।
In the discussions that follow, it will be noted that the transitions from one state to a higher state are not difficult to make. They may only seem difficult to us because of current perceptions. It's important to keep in mind that as we surrender, our perceptions will change. Our goals will automatically be elevated. What now seems impossible will become old hat after we have been practicing the technique a while.
गेट दिस वेरी क्लियर, हमारे जो गोल्स थे, जो ड्रीम्स थे, वो एकदम से एलिवेट हो जाएंगे। क्यों? हमने लेट गो कर दिया, जो डिफिकल्ट लग रहा था, इम्पॉसिबल लग रहा था, पॉसिबल लगने लग जाए, और हो भी जाएगा। अब हम अपने आप को बोल रहे हैं कि आई कैन लेट गो, आई कैन लेट गो एंड आई एम लेटिंग गो, एंड देन my higher level of consciousness अपने आप आएगी ही आएगी। there's no other question, you have to let go. That's only one thing that will make you such a rich person, physically, spiritually, emotionally, intellectually, in every form of way. Let go, let go, let go. We will also notice that as the mind contrasts, like as the mind contrasts the lower level of life with the higher level, a peculiar resistance to the description of a higher level of functioning will occur at times. The mind will get critical and try to save face by ridiculing a higher state. This is a golden opportunity because this is the very attitude that prevents a person from reaching that higher state of life. क्या मतलब हुआ इसका? जब कई बार हम एक्नॉलेज नहीं करते, हम ये भी देखेंगे कि हमारा जो दिमाग है वो गेम्स खेलना शुरू कर देता है। जब हम हाई लेवल पे लव एंड लाइट में जा रहे हैं, तब जैसे मैं अपना एग्जांपल के साथ बताती हूँ। फॉर एग्जांपल, मैं बहुत ज्यादा पैसे कमाने शुरू कर दिए थे। मैं प्रोफेशन पुरानी इंडस्ट्री में ग्राफिक डिजाइनिंग वाली में, माय प्रॉफिट्स वर सो हाई, रहते 10% देना, यार इतना सारा पैसा देना फॉर चैरिटी, फॉर एम्पावरिंग, टू मच मनी यार, इससे तो मतलब बहुत सारे स्कूल्स बन जाएंगे, ऐसा हो जाएगा, लेट मी गिव 8%। मैं हाई लेवल पे पहुंच गई थी और मैं नीचे अपने आप को ले आई क्योंकि मैं क्रिटिकल हो गई हाई स्टेट पे पहुंचने के लिए, और मेरा गोल्डन अपॉर्चुनिटी जो उस समय थी, मुझे 10% पे रख के रहना था, इनफैक्ट आगे बढ़ना था। उसकी वजह से क्या हुआ? बिजनेस धीरे धीरे डाउन होना शुरू हो गया क्योंकि मैंने उस हायर स्टेट पे अपने आप को रखा नहीं, गोल्डन अपॉर्चुनिटी गवा दी। इस प्रोसेस में कई बार हमें बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है हायर लेवल पे पहुंचने के लिए टू हैव अ टीचर, टू हैव अ गाइड, टू हैव अ मेंटर, टू हैव अ प्रोसेस। जब आप जो आपके पास अवेलेबल है, प्लीज गो थ्रू इट, प्लीज रीड इट, प्लीज हैव somebody टू बैक यू अप। गोल्स इम्पॉसिबल बन जाते हैं अगर हमारे पास अकाउंटेबिलिटी, आंसरेबिलिटी नहीं होती। प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड, you have to keep complimenting, be grateful, be evolving, never come back। कोई डिसीजन ले लिया तो रखे रहो उस पे। लाइक वो बोलते ना कि मैंने कोई जुबान दे दी तो मैं अपनी भी नहीं सुनता, फिर बी लाइक दैट काइंड ऑफ पर्सन। रेजिस्टेंस, क्रिटिसिज्म, डिस्पैरेजमेंट्स अगर आते हैं, उनको भी सरेंडर करना है, वो आएंगे, उनका काम है आना, लेकिन आपको उनको भी लेट गो करना है so that you are going to become better and better and better. As Pogo says, we have identified the enemy and it is us. हमारे अंदर ही enemy है, हमारे अंदर ही भगवान है। किसको चूज कर रहे हैं हमारे ऊपर डिपेंड करता है। Yes, let's read further.
As a professional psychotherapist and psychiatrist with many decades of clinical experience and training, these high levels of functioning were considered to be impossible for most people. However, learning how the mechanism of surrender works on the practical level and watching hundreds of families, friends, patients, and ex patients transform their lives have totally changed this view. Now, higher levels of functioning are seen to be automatic, easy to achieve, and available to everyone, often in a surprisingly short period of time. As a matter of fact, some of these levels of success and happiness will seem impossible, but the high level will already have occurred by the time you have finished reading this book. You can tell yourself right in the beginning, that these high levels of functioning are not only possible, but they are an inherent birthright. They are the natural state of which you have been deprived by all the programming that the mind has been subjected to since birth. Before reading on, it is advisable to sit quietly and make an inner decision to let go resisting higher levels of functioning. This means to make a decision to stop denying the higher levels to yourself and to make a decision to let go of all blocks to happiness, success, health, acceptance, love, and peace. By doing this, the deed is already done for you, already done. For you have set the whole experience into a context that will automatically begin to unfold.
Okay, let's understand. हम नहीं लेट गो कर पा रहे, उसको भी एक्सेप्ट कर लें. लेकिन सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट चीज क्या है? इंटेंशन. क्या हमारी मंशा, क्या संकल्प हमारा है कि हम अपने हायर सेल्फ से रिक्वेस्ट कर लें कि जो भी कोई ब्लॉकेजेस आ रही हैं मेरी हैप्पीनेस में, सक्सेस में, मेरी हेल्थ में, मेरी एक्सेप्टेंस में, मेरी लव में, मेरी पीस में, मेरी लाइट में, वो सब हट जाए. एंड ये मेरा इंटेंशन है. एंड सो इट इज. अगर हमने इतना भी बोल दिया, वी हैव मेड अ सक्सेसफुल पर्सन आउट ऑफ अस. एंड उसके बाद स्टेप बाय स्टेप, स्लोली एंड स्टेडली, एक साथ हटाना बहुत मुश्किल है. एक 100 किलो का पत्थर सामने रखा है, उसको हटाना कितना मुश्किल है. कितने लोग लग जाएंगे. अगर आपको इंडिपेंडेंट बनना है तो अगर आप उसको धीरे 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 तोड़ते रहो और उतना उतना पार्ट हटाते रहो, तो एक टाइम आएगा जब वो पूरा पत्थर नथिंगनेस हो जाएगा और आपने अकेले में काम किया होगा. Do you want to be that person? Simply take step by step and go slowly and slowly. Or do you want to be that person? ये फटाफट 100 लोग आए और हटा दिया. Both are okay. Perception कोई भी wrong नहीं है. लेकिन 100 लोग कहाँ आएंगे हमारी लाइफ में हमको सिखाने के लिए, और 100 लोग आएंगे, हम नेगेटिविटी हमने अगर ले ली तो इट्स ओके. 100 लोग पॉजिटिव भी आ सकते हैं. नजरिया क्या है लाइफ में हमारा? व्हाट डू वी वांट टू डू? डू वी वांट टू लेट गो? अगर हमें लेट गो करना है तो 100 लोग की जगह हमको सिर्फ 99, 98, 97 काउंट डाउन करके अकेले हम वी आर गोइंग टू बी वर्किंग. सो उस पत्थर को अकेले तोड़ना शुरू कर सकते हैं हम. क्या काम होगा? Now that depends completely upon us. पत्थर तोड़ते तो बीच में आप बोले अब मैं नहीं करूंगा, we can't do it. Okay. मैं बोले नहीं, मैं थोड़ा थोड़ा तोड़ूंगा, अभी मैं नहीं तोड़ पा रहा, आज 50 ग्राम ही तोड़ूंगा. It will still make a difference. So very important for us to become people who make a difference to our own selves. कोई बाहर से नहीं आएगा हमारे अंदर की सफाई करने. अंदर जो कचरा भर के रखा है हमने थॉट्स का, किसी भी चीज का, वो हमारे अंदर से हम साफ करेंगे. This chapter is one of the most transformational chapters in our life. जब हमने इस बेसिक चीज को समझ लिया, लेट गो का, इससे क्या प्रभाव पड़ेगा हमारी हेल्थ पे, हमारी वेल्थ पे, हमारी हैप्पीनेस में, हमारे पीस में, उसकी हम बात करेंगे within tomorrow and the days to come. Understand something. We are all looking to become free. Inner freedom चाहिए. Outer freedom अपने आप मिल जाएगी जब inner freedom होगी. जो चीज चाहिए वो मिलेगी ही मिलेगी, बट उसके लिए अंदर से हमें अपने आप काम करना पड़ेगा. राइट? सो लेट्स नॉट फोकस सो मच ऑन सफाई. लेट्स फोकस ऑन जस्ट लेटिंग गो. अपने आप सब कुछ चला जाएगा. So thank you, Rahul sir, for showcasing this book. Thank you, Ruchi, for reading this book for all of us. And now we will all read about this beautiful journey of Rod Judkins. What is he taking us into? Remember, all of us are creators. Remember, all of us are unique. Remember, all of us are given opportunities. The more we take them, the more we grow. Opportunities आएंगी और जाएंगी. हमने कितना लिया, कितना उसको escalate किया, depends completely upon us. आज I'm not surprised कि ये project का, आज इस chapter का नाम है Project Yourself into the Future. Imagine आज full new moon है, हम सब अपनी intentions लिखने वाले हैं, उस दिन ये chapter आया है. So it's very beautiful. It's like again a cue from the universe above. Let me read this for all of you. Project yourself into the future. Torrential rain hammers down from permanently dark skies into a sprawling city of glass and steel. In the decaying streets, all traces of nature have been obliterated. Overhead flying cars soar between the buildings, and a huge hovering airship projects adverts for adventure in off-world locations. Thunderous sounds rumble as belching mushroom clouds of fire and smoke randomly erupt. Most people have left the planet for an off-world colony, driven away by crime and pollution. A mixture of races mingle in the retrofitted bars, where amidst the chaos and destruction, the camera falls on a Blade Runner. अभी एकदम एक imaginary world की बात हो रही है, right? जहाँ ऊपर प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं, आसमान में हैं, बारिश आ रही, torrential rain आ रही है, लोगों ने मदर अर्थ को छोड़ दिया, कुछ यहाँ करप्शन है, यहाँ इतना है, they've gone up in the better realms. Now let's go. Ridley Scott's film Blade Runner imagines the implications of cloning and creating artificial human beings, of a paranoid world where searchlights penetrate into every dark corner and the police are omnipresent, of the unchecked growth of corporate power as a tyrannical corporation looms over the city in a giant pyramid. Science fiction asks the question, will the future be a utopia or a dystopia? An ideal society where everyone lives in harmony or entirely dysfunctional society? And this is very important. I'm talking about a beautiful movie, but do we want to be dysfunctional or do we want to be in harmony? अगर हमें हार्मनी चाहिए तो हमें अपने अंदर से पहले हार्मनी करनी पड़ेगी. हम चेंज होंगे तो दुनिया चेंज होगी. The Chinese lacked the ability to imagine anything new or see into the future. They were world leaders in manufacturing, but they needed someone to tell them what to manufacture. They could invent their own products. The Chinese government wanted to change that. So they sent a delegation to the US to research how the workforce at Apple, Google, Microsoft became so innovative. They questioned them in an attempt to find out their own creativity and inventiveness came from. Now, Apple and Google were inventing the future for themselves and for the rest of us. How did they do it? The researchers found one common factor. Most of them had been fans of science fiction books when they were young. Science fiction is a combination of rigorous science and unfettered imagination. Fantasy is important in the development of science. Fiction enables you to fly without leaving the ground. Science fiction sites and cars and eventually becomes the real cities and cars we live in and drive. Fiction takes you to places you've never been and places that don't exist. Once you've visited the future, you are less content with the world around you. The discontent drive people to alter and improve, to make things better. The Chinese had a problem, though. They'd banned science fiction. During the anti-spiritual pollution campaign, the government labeled science fiction as spiritual pollution. They couldn't see any practical benefit from it, and they didn't want people to be imaginative or come up with new ideas. It is in the nature of new ideas that they are subversive. As a result of the research in the US, through the Chinese switched from banning science fiction to vigorously promoting it. China is now the world's biggest market for science fiction, with the highest circulation of magazines and books. Can you imagine how good it is to live in a fictitious world? How good it is. We can create so much. अगर हम beyond the box नहीं जाएंगे, how will we create? बिजली create हुई थी जब लगा था कि ओ बाहर तो बिजली है, ऐसे light आ रही है. How will we create it? तो हुई थी fiction, imagination. We are built with imagination. Why can't we get into that? Silicon Valley is a name for an area in San Francisco that is home to many of the world's largest technology corporations. What distinguishes these companies is that they are more interested in the future than the past or the present. They're always looking forward. The structure of the companies is fluid and flexible so that they can change and adapt quickly. A feature Google, Apple, eBay, Yahoo, and many others is there. Fascinated by the future, they constantly try to anticipate, predict, and shape what's coming. Imagine these people are working to create the future. How about us? You create science fiction. We all do. We plan new kitchens, careers, holidays. We see ourselves in them. We visualize them. What would be the best and worst be like? We see the events, hear the sounds, feel the emotions. The ability to project ourselves in the future is one of the most important key features of being human. Our imaginations are the most powerful tools we have, more powerful than any car, aeroplane, rocket science. Or rocket. It's beyond our imaginations and create the car, the aeroplane, or the rocket. Imagination has practical benefits, but it needs to be constantly maintained or it rusts and falls apart. Where are you going? What are you doing? What extent have you shaped your own destiny? Any one of us at any time can change the route by asking, what do I want to be in 10 years from now? Where do I want to be in 10 years? What do I want to be doing? The minute you have these questions, your world will open in front of you. मुझे ये करना है, 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 टू डू लिस्ट तैयार हो जाएगी. फिर उसके बाद धीरे-धीरे वन करके let's do it. John F. Kennedy, he said, change is the law of life, and those who look only to the past or present are certain to miss the future. ये आपने भी सुना होगा ना. अगर हम पास्ट की बातें करते हैं तो हम पास्ट में फंसे रह जाते हैं. बड़ी उम्र के लोग के पास जाओ, कितने कम लोग फ्यूचर में मूव करते हैं कुछ वो कल की बात करें, कल जो बीत गया. आज के जमाने में ऐसे, हमारे जमाने में ऐसे था. अरे इतना बेटर हो गया जमाना देखा जाए तो. प्लसेस भी हैं, माइनसेस भी हैं. हम प्लस पे वर्क कर रहे हैं या माइनस पे वर्क कर रहे हैं. माइनस पे कर रहे हैं तो हम पीछे के जमाने पे रहेंगे. प्लस कर रहे हैं कि अरे ये भी हुआ, ये भी हुआ, ये भी हुआ, तो हाउ अमेजिंग. आज हम बात कर रहे हैं कि लोग मोबाइल फोन के विक्टिम्स बन गए हैं, टेक्नोलॉजी के बन गए, कंप्यूटर्स में बन गए हैं. अगर कंप्यूटर्स नहीं आए होते तो आज की दुनिया में हम 2 साल पीछे होते. इतना कुछ आपने मैंने सीखा है, बच्चों ने सीखा है, पढ़ाई करी है, 2 क्लासेस पीछे नहीं है, आगे बढ़ गए हैं. कंप्यूटर्स की वजह से हुआ है. और अगर हम नेगेटिव बात करें तो नेगेटिव करते जाए. बच्चे फंसे हुए हैं, बच्चों का ये हो गया. आपके ऊपर डिपेंड करता है ना, हाउ इंटरेस्टिंग कैन यू मेक देम प्ले. आप उनको कहाँ छत पे ले जाकर या कहीं ले जाकर यू कैन प्ले विद देम, यू टॉक टू देम. You could allow their engineers and rocket scientists to come out. अगर चिकचिली की बातें करें, what are you doing? Allow them to be. Change is a law of life. Learn from them. हम अपने inner child को भूल गए हैं. Please imagine and involve in little children. Talk to them. See how they talk. In fact, listen to them. They want listeners. And let's embrace the future. Let's create a future. And again, नया साल है. आज न्यू मून है. आज एक क्वेश्चन आया, वेयर डू आई वांट टू बी इन 10 years? थिंक अबाउट इट. कहाँ जाना है? याद करोगे ये दिन, 2 जनवरी 2022. आज डेट भी कितनी अमेजिंग है. I became one-to-one with myself, and that's when I realized that 2 plus 2 is not 4, it's 44. And I have created my life. I am the creator and I have done it. सिर्फ लिखने से नहीं होगा. आज मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूंगी आप सबको अपने, sir, we have done with this chapter, thank you. Okay, let me take you through a meditation. Let me guide you in the meditation, what you should be doing. Today, let's do a new moon meditation along with our heart thought. हमारी heart thought भी बहुत सुंदर है आज. It's about uniqueness. I am my own unique self. And today we'll do this and our new moon meditation. All right. So everyone, can anyone record the meditation? I don't see people who record. Can anyone record? Otherwise, Rahul sir, आज की meditation important है. आप इसका voice, हाँ, sorry.
I can try.
Ruchi, okay. So Ruchi को sir co-host already बनाया हुआ है. Ruchi, just try. There'll be a button of recording, right? So just click on that. उसके बाद 2 आएगा आपके पास options. वीडियो का भी, ऑडियो का भी. तो आप ऑडियो भेज सकते हो. ठीक है?
No, it's like stop recording or pause. There's nothing else out here.
Okay, fine. Rahul sir, फिर आप ही क्रॉप करके भेजिएगा आज. Rahul sir will do this for all of us. Okay. Everyone, our back straight. Fingers firmly placed open-handed on our thighs, on our laps. Legs grounded by keeping them on the floor, aligning them with Mother Nature. Backs absolutely straight. Take a deep breath in and out. Another deep breath in and out. The last time and third time for this morning, take another deep breath in and gently exhale. Life is magical. Life is unique. Life is a beautiful, gratifying journey. I am my own unique self. I've always been and I will always be. They say there is no one like me, and I know it. Every person is born unique. When we grow up, we get so worried about what the neighbors think. We say to ourselves, will they approve of me? Will my family approve of me? Will the world approve of me? Everybody and everything is unique and different and meant to be that way. If we are like other people, if we fit in a particular size, then how are we unique? Then we are following the herd. Then there's a mass herd mentality. Then we're not expressing our own specialness. By now, I'm clear that I am one of a kind. I'm my own unique self. I'm not my father. I'm not my mother. I'm not my brother. I'm not my sister. I'm not any relative or like anybody else. I am me. I'm not my teacher at school. I'm not my teacher in college. I'm not my spiritual teacher in life. I am me. I do not have limitations of any religious training. I am me. I am special. I am unique. I have my own talents. I have my own abilities. No one can do things like the way I do because I am different. There is no comparison, there is no competition because I am unique. I am worthy of my own love and I'm worthy of my own self acceptance. The only person who needs to validate me is me because I am my unique self. I'm the only person who tells me, am I right or am I wrong? Nobody else does. And can I tell myself that I am whole and complete? Whatever I am doing at whatever time is because of my intelligence and my awakening at that moment. I am a magnificent being. I am free. Let's acknowledge this new truth about ourselves on this beautiful new day of new moon. Today, the very first new moon of 2022 is here. Let's ask ourselves the question, where do I want to be at the end of this year in life? Where do I want to be at the end of 5 years? Where do I want to be at the end of 10 years? How do I see myself? Today is a day to manifest, to dream big, think big, plan big. Today is the first day of this sacred new year, a blessed new year, a year of awakening, a year of transformation. And today I am in this for a particular reason. I'm ready for it. So let's embrace it. Let's tell ourselves that whatever we write with a red pen on a yellow paper will all come true because I am writing my dreams and affirmations, making them come true as never before. I am love, I am light. I shine bright, bright now, bright here. I am my own unique self and I have my own unique journey. And the journey is beautiful, it's ongoing because I am ready for it. So let's manifest our life the way we want it, not how society wants it. Let's promise ourselves that come what may, I will follow my heart. Come what may, I will follow my gut instinct. Come what may, I will go with my intuition. Come what may, I will grow with my higher self, I, and not the lower self, ego. Because I, the soul, am powerful, and I, the soul, have chosen this journey, this spiritual journey in this physical body. And let me progress deeper in this world of love and light. Let me manifest a life of love and light. I am blessed. I am wonderful. I am kind. I am super healthy. I am whole and complete. Wherever I turn, prosperity follows. And I am open and receptive to all the love and to all the abundance from all possible universes. And I am thankful to all my teachers who have come in my form in whichever way, my parents, my grandparents, the teachers, authors, coaches, classes, wherever. I am a seeker and I have learned so much, and there's still so much to learn. Let me thank Mother Earth for all that she does for us, giving us gratitude, giving us sessions of power, compassion, kindness, love. Let's thank our beautiful body for taking in so much of beautiful aura and energy. Let's thank our life lessons that we've always been enriched and enlivened and empowered with. Let's open our hands towards the universe above and thank the universe for having our back. Dear universe, on this beautiful new moon, but I can't see the moon at all in the universe, I know that I have a blank slate to write my life on. And this blank slate is like a blank moon with a blank sky. I can paint the stars, I can paint the colors, because I am a creative soul, I'm an artist. And whatever I write comes true because I see them with bright, luminous light, lit lights and eyes full of dreams, full of hopes, full of prosperity. May I be the channel of blessing for someone today. May I be the channel of writing my life today, which can help other people's lives as well as mine and my loved ones. May Mother Earth go for ascension, and may I be the reason, a small little reason to help on it. Love, love, and love is all I feel for the universe. Let's fold our hands in gratitude. Feel the blessing from all 5 elements within you, internally, and outside you externally. Rub your hands together. Bless your 5 senses in your face. Bless your body, neck, shoulders, arms, upper to lower, upper back, middle back, lower back, hip area, excretory organs, legs, upper to lower, soles, front, lower to upper, sexual organs, entire body, gut area with intestines, large and small, stomach, gallbladders, kidneys, uterus, lungs, heart. Be blessed, my loved ones. Be blessed. Let's share our love. Let's share our light. Let's share our blessings with every sentient being. Vijay ji, Pratima ji, Richa, Ruchi, Minakshi, Usha ji, Dr. Kamakshi, Manisha, Pina, Shami, Rima, Rahul sir, Amrita ma'am, and to everyone, love and light, love and light, love and light. Be blessed. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's connect tomorrow at 5 for our transformation series. And those of you who are unified, you can log in the next 2 minutes. I will be starting that session. Take care. Thank you.